5 Live.
It is a mouth-watering prospect, isn't it? But let's bring you the very latest news this morning.
What is the immediate impact? Tell me what you know, please.
Let's look at these alarming figures today.
I'm coming to you live from outside number 10 Dow Street.
Let's get straight to our top story.
How much concern is there from you and your members about all of this?
The voice of the UK.
What do you want to see happen? Now that the dust has somewhat settled, what do we think?
What is interesting about this particular payment is it does count as interest.
BBC Radio 5 Live.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is 5 Live Sports
At the FIFA World Cup 2026.
with Steve Crossman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
We're going to speak to Matt Miazga, former USA centre-back, just before Johnny Ianson takes over at 10:30 as we look ahead to USA's game in the round of 16 of the World Cup. Remember, if they win that match, they're going to be playing Spain in the quarter-finals. There's all the story going on around Follering Balogun. They've got to beat Belgium before any of it matters. Obviously, that one kicks off at 1 a.m. in Seattle. In Dallas, we've got Guillaume Balaguer with us, Ian Dennis and Chris Sutton. Spain have just beaten Portugal by 1-0. I think, Ian, if I was Portuguese, my main frustration would be you can lose, but if you lose without throwing a punch, that really hurts, and I don't think Portugal threw a punch.
No, I mean, they did have chances. Mendes had that effort that cannoned off the head of Porro onto the crossbar. There was a couple of half chances as well for Ronaldo in the first half. But I don't think that at any point did they have a sustained spell in the game where they really stretched Spain. Listen, commend Spain to the hilt because they are proving to be a very, very difficult side to play against. They don't give away chances. You know, they still are yet to concede. But only when Leao came on did you have a forward player who was willing to be a little bit brave, to show some ambition, to go on the outside. Because apart from that, I didn't think Conceição, when he came on, offered a great deal. Neto was probably in the pocket of Cucurella for large parts of the game. Ronaldo was a passenger. Bruno Fernandes for large parts was anonymous. Vitinha likes to dictate, but I just think that I was so disappointed with Portugal for all the talent and all the quality that they have have passed up on this opportunity and have not gone down they've gone out with a whimper. They've not gone down fighting.
Steve, you're not listening to me. Why did they not throw a punch? Why did they not throw a punch? Because of the centre forward. Your team is only as good as your centre forward, and if your centre forward,
You can't put it all on Ronaldo.
Yes, you can put the bulk of it on Ronaldo. More so, you can put more than that on the manager. Imagine how Ramos is feeling. Thinking I came off the bench and got our country out of jail against Croatia when Croatia should have won the game with a brilliant header. Tell me what the manager's mindset is in that situation. But your centre forward has to move. He has to contribute. He has to press. He has to have variation in his play, and he doesn't. He's waddling around the field like a granddad. That's what he's doing. Honestly, that's why Portugal are out.
Let me tell you another story. So you are facing one of the candidates to win the World Cup, a team that attacks very well. So for 75 minutes you decide we're not going to risk anything, and we're just going to make sure, including Nuno Mendes when he was fit, that he doesn't go forward, the fullbacks don't go forward, the centre midfielders don't get into the box. Let's just make sure that nothing happens. And then I'm going to bring on Bernardo Silva, Rafael Leao and Francisco Conceição, who add a lot of pace at a time when Spain could be a little bit tired. It was just one goal that went in out of not many chances of Spain, especially in that second half, in which I thought Spain weren't great. So Portugal were that close. And yes, of course, it's annoying that when we see on paper all these players that they're not playing in a different way. But, you know, I'm Luis de la Fuente, and I wish that I should attack us from day one. Yeah, bring it on. No. On the other side, of course, Spain is a side that can beat teams almost playing in any way possible. Counter-attacking, attacking, passing, and in some games as tight as this one.
It's not that I disagree with you at all, Chris, on your points about Ronaldo or Roberto Martinez. I'm just trying to look for other reasons and other areas of discussion around it, because the thing that occurs to me is, and as we know, Guillaume was telling us, obviously Roberto Martinez is going to leave now. If this was a Premier League manager losing his job, you would at some point say, wouldn't you, but the players have to take some responsibility. And that extends to beyond one player, even if he deserves the most responsibility.
But it's all down to, what is the main reason for Portugal performing as they have done at the World Cup? And I'll say again, your team is only as good as your centre forward. Other centre forwards in this competition, they contribute, and it may not just be with goals, but it's about style, it's about stretching a team, it's about holding the ball in, it's about pressing. Ronaldo does nothing. He does absolutely nothing. He did nothing, and he can sit in a press conference and say, "Well, I got my 3 goals," and it's all about him. But yeah, I'm telling you, there are some brilliant players in that Portuguese team who will feel that this World Cup for them was a complete waste of time. And Portugal, you look at
They do have to look at themselves, though, Chris. Some of those players.
Well, they do, but when you're looking up, you're looking up for looking to clip a pass in behind a defence which is high up the pitch. When you're looking up and looking to play round the corner, a little give and go, and nobody's there, it's a problem. How do you win games of football? By scoring goals. If you haven't got a centre forward who's contributing to the build-up play, who just wants to stand in the middle of the goals in and around the 6-yard box and tap it in and take all the acclaim, then you've got a massive problem. He's too old. He was done, but the fact that they have another centre forward on the bench in Gonzalo Ramos, who by the way played in the last 16 at the last World Cup and scored a hat-trick when the manager did have a bit of courage to leave Ronaldo out. And we're 4 years further on. Ronaldo's 4 years older. And look what's happened. They have underperformed because of him, and it's mainly on him. I take your point about other players. Could they should have done better. We've seen Bruno Fernandes all season in the Premier League. He is an incredible player. What is he thinking? He needs something to hit. Give me something to hit. He's not getting it.
I've got some quotes actually now from Bruno Fernandes, who's just been speaking pitch side. He said, "We are sad. We wanted to win this World Cup. Spain have got great players, but if we kept it as we had in the first half, then we would have won. The balance is positive. We would have been positive if we'd reached the end. Our expectations were very high. This team had the quality to win the World Cup. Unfortunately, this wasn't possible. We need to find a way for other teams to respect us more." I don't know what he means by that, Guillaume. I'm pontificating. What do you think?
Bruno Fernandes, is it?
Yeah.
The leader of the squad from today, from 10 minutes ago. This is the guy that will dictate matters, will be the main captain, the reference. Now Cristiano is gone. So you can read between the lines. There were things that we could have done better. Of course, when you get defeated, that's the case. In the first half, they had a chance, they hit the bar, but the plan was very clear, and it must have been really frustrating for Vitinha, for João Neves, for Bruno Fernandes, because as Chris says, and I'll give credit to Chris on that, if you have a player like Cristiano Ronaldo front, you cannot pressure high, which they've been doing, these 3 midfielders have been doing all season long. You cannot pass the ball in behind, because you wouldn't do that. So with all that in mind, and the choice being made of Cristiano being there until the end, they played in the only way that was possible. I think Bruno is saying there is another way, and I guess it starts now.
I appreciate people will be thinking you're not giving Spain enough credit. So there's 2 things on that. 1, we're going to do that now, and 2, we'll obviously get another chance because they're still in the competition. But we've got some quotes from Luis de la Fuente now. Head coach said it's been a fantastic game. This was like a final. We suffered to the very end. We showed we wanted to do things well. We played a complete game. We had players off the bench who can win games. We told Mikel, play, be creative, play as a 10, do whatever you can. Ultimately, his contribution was fantastic. I think we should talk about Spain.